Okay, and welcome everyone in Facebook world to this week's episode of WTF Live. We have a very special episode in store for you. I know typically every week you come here to hear Vita and myself talk about window treatments, but this week we wanted to just kind of shake it up a little bit.
As we do sometimes. So without further ado, we're talking today about, Kim, you introduce it.
So today we are going to be discussing LuAnn Live because it is happening next week. So we wanted to kind of go through our reasons as to why we are attending LuAnn Live.
So if you've been living under a rock for the last, I don't know, few months or so, you know that LuAnn Live. Well, first of all, it is a conference that LuAnn Nigara, who is the co-owner of WindowWorks, the company that Kim works for, as well as my personal coach, as well as friend, and she's also a famous podcaster and just an amazingly all around amazing woman and hashtag smart lady.
Yes.
Anyway, so she puts together this live event and she did it 2 years ago. And now this is her second go round for 2021.
Yes. And this year, unfortunately, since we all can't join together because of the pandemic, it is going to be a virtual extravaganza.
But the not so unfortunate part of it is that it's going to be an amazing extravaganza.
Yeah,
just because it's virtual does not necessarily mean that it's going to be any less rather special than what it was live 2 years ago, because we know the type of the event that LuAnn is capable of putting together.
Yeah. There is a whole TV production crew that's going to be there. So it's a little different from the first LuAnn Live. And at least I know selfishly for me, I'm actually going to be able to sit and watch and really learn with the panel discussions, but we'll kind of get into that a little later. So I am personally really, really excited.
So Kim, I have a totally unrelated question. Are you seeing me on Instagram?
No, we're just seeing you
from here down, right? So, yeah. Okay, people's Instagram changed their settings again. And I have to go like this. Hello. But then you can't see me on Facebook. So it's like completely changed up. And let's see if I can go like this. Oh my gosh, this is like, I have to totally change it now. Hang on a second.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't see my boobs the whole time. All right, I'm not sure if this is going to work, actually. I think I may have to, oh my gosh, do I have to hold it the whole time? That will be real unfortunate. But I may just have to. Nope. Or you will just have to kind of see my neck most of the time. Because this is what happens. You don't, oh my goodness. All right, I think this is going to have to be this way.
That's fine.
Can you see me like this?
Yeah, we can see you like that. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to have to hold it. I'm holding my phone and my Facebook camera is over there. So
now on Facebook, you're just a floating head.
Oh, great. All right.
There you go. That's better. That's
technical issues because okay, you can see my phone, so I have to be here and there. I mean, I specifically wore podcast green. I mean, not for nothing. Like you have to see this whole thing.
You know what? I didn't even think about that. If those who live on the East Coast, it is so cold today that I grabbed the thickest, chunkiest sweater that I owned. And I was like, I have to go out and I'm like, I need something to keep my head warm later. So I was not thinking podcast green, but Tuesday I will be.
No worries at all. And so let's tell them a little bit more about the conference itself.
So the conference is made up of let's really go back to the beginning. So LuAnn has written her third book, and the book is A Well-Designed Business, the Power Talk Friday Experts, Volume 2. So what the panelists comprise of are the 9 authors and then designers that coincide with the different authors' topic of the book. So for those of you who don't have it, here is the
third book right here. Yes.
It's available on Amazon, so it is finally out. Here are the authors in the back.
And
So
also on our presentation, the
on our
PowerPoint as
presentation
well.
here's LuAnn hanging out. So here are all the authors, and then they were paired up with different designers, and that comprises of all the different panelists. So the conference is 2 days long, and each panel is about an hour or so. And the cool thing is this year is, since we can't be together, there is a way to, depending on what level you purchase into the conference, there is an interactive, there's a way to
Component
interact
to it.
with, yeah, it's component to it. So we can kind of get to that. I don't know if you want to get into the breakdown of that just yet, Vida, or if we just want to really focus on the different authors right now.
So I would love to say, I think, let me just actually step back and tell our listeners that it's not like we're going to be talking this entire show
No.
about, yes, it's all going to be focused on the conference, but the meat of the show is really going to be about giving you our top 3 for each of us reasons why we're excited about it, why we're attending. We're putting our lives on hold and businesses on hold, and we're going to be there. So you can just listen to why it's important to us. We would encourage you to get more information, of course, on the website, and ultimately make the ultimate decision you make for yourself, of course. But to go back to the authors, what I can build on what you said, Kim, is that in addition to the authors that are going to be speaking, the authors also have pulled in either their clients or the people that they admire and respect and can kind of illustrate the point that they were making as part of their chapter in the book. And so it not only becomes just like a presentation, but by each individual author, it really becomes a little bit of an interactive session between the 2 people to begin with. And then to your point, then LuAnn has built in the interactive components, again, based on the ticket that you buy, where the attendees are not just like sitting around or behind the Zoom screen and just listening to what the talking heads are saying, but they can really interact, they can participate, they can ask questions.
Yes. And I also heard that depending on what your facial expression might be, the production crew might also put you on the screen during a certain part of the
Oh,
show.
how fun.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so let's not, make sure we're all there with smiles and excitement. So you might pop up on screen.
I have to make sure not be like, like eating, like we have my mouth open. Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Right,
Hey, Gina out there on Facebook. So these are, if you want to get more information on the different authors and designer speakers on the panels, head on over to LuAnn's website, LuAnnNigara.com. And if you hit events and go to LuAnn Live, you'll get a whole breakdown of who's going to be there and who's going to be speaking.
So I actually just realized what Instagram is doing. Instead of, how my picture was in the middle of the slide and all of our content had to be on the left-hand side, we don't longer have to do that. It can actually all be on the whole slide, except that my little picture is all the way at the top and you can barely see me, which is fine. I wish they would give us heads up about these things.
Yes, well, they don't care.
We've been going live for the last half a year, and now we went on today, and there I am.
Now you need a tripod.
That's exactly right. I need a tripod. Exactly. Whereas before I was just able to kind of line it with Facebook. No big deal. Moving on, here are top 6 reasons to attend LuAnn Live. And the first one comes from me. So what I am really thinking about the way I'm really viewing this conference is that it's like a reset of 2021. And what I mean by that is that 2020 has been, it goes without saying, I think that 2020 has been a really tough year for all of us, most of us. It's been tough business-wise. Running a business has been very difficult, and it's been going up and down. And back in April, we didn't know, if the bottom was going to fall out. And personally, with most of us having kids and homeschooling and doing all that. So anyway, 2020 has been a tough year. And I feel like we've been cooped up in our homes. We've been cooped up in our little bubbles, not really going out much, not really talking to a lot of people. And, of course, there's a positive in that, but it can also get really draining as well. And to be in our own heads for too long can be kind of detrimental sometimes. So I feel like this conference conference is our opportunity to reset, to really press that reset button. You know, whatever happened in 2020, we're going to leave it all behind. We're going to bring with us all the positives that went on, but any kind of negativity, any kind of fallout, anything that we don't want to bring with us going forward. That's what this conference, I feel like, is giving us the opportunity to do. It's like a big button. It's like one of those big staples type of, you know, like you, that's what LuAnn should have, a big green button.
Yeah.
We can just
Actually,
smack it on the desk, you know, this is my reset.
yeah.
So that's how I'm viewing this event. You know, leave the past in the past, leave it behind, bring on the positive, press the reset so that you can march on forward with sort of the new outlook, the new ideas, the new practices, the just a whole new us, new you, new me, new all of us, new industry.
That's a really good point, Vita.
All right.
So for myself, what I'm looking forward to, and one of the reasons why I wanted to go, is to just kind of get re-energized in the business. I feel like a lot of times, I know when I go to the window treatment conference, the IWCE, and then when we also travel to High Point and you sit on different panel discussions, you kind of just getting that little break away from the everyday like hamster wheel that it can slowly become, that you get that break and then you have the energy and like that love and that passion again for the business, and you're like, all right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to take these couple of tidbits and I'm going to implement them, we're going to make some changes, and it kind of just gives you that like little endorphins boost that you need. And I feel like with 2020, the dumpster fire that it was, and just how the emotional part of it, how the year started off great, then we went into the unknown, and then things started to pick up again, and you just never really had like that real break and that real like woo-saw moment. So I feel like for me, just being able to be in a room to listen to such experts on different topics and things like that, it's going to give me that energy boost that I feel like that I was kind of lacking in 2020, if that makes sense.
Definitely. Hold on, I'm having difficulty again.
Okay. No worries.
This new setup with Instagram is killing me, and it's killing my arms too to hold this. This long. Anyway, sorry, Kim. Sorry, technical difficulties here, but I do hear you. The energy level of 2020 was a big roller coaster. It was up and down, and there were real down moments, at least for me, and I know for some of my colleagues and friends, and some moments that I probably rather not relive. And of course, we all are much stronger because of that, and I'm not arguing the validity of them. But there's part of me that feels like I'm strong enough. I don't need to have any more moments to be any stronger. And of course, 2020 tested us. And so to really have the opportunity to uplift our energy and to, it's kind of, you know, even goes back to my initial point too, and press that reset, energize ourselves and our bodies and our souls, our minds. This is the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's going to be a fun show. Who said 2020 was? No, mind. 2021 is going to be great. It is great. Yes. Okay. So for me, my reason number 2 for going is, of course, all the knowledge that I'm planning to garner from all these experts. I'm bringing a brand new notebook, and I'm going to take copious notes. I'm planning to just write and process and really learn a lot from these amazing experts. But I also know that if I only get one thing, and that's what I call one little tidbit, I know that that's going to change my outlook, it's going to change my energy, and ultimately that's what's going to help me get to my goals. It doesn't have to be 10 things, and I don't have to implement. I may learn or hear of 10 things. I may learn them, but I don't have to implement all of them. As long as I have just one really good tidbit, sometimes that is all you need to take your business to a whole new level.
And to just quickly piggyback off of that, I know I have the book, and I kind of have, you know, little. I know a girl. To get the book, but
the signed copy of it.
Yes, my first signed copy, by the way. But no, but in the intro, there is something to that point about what Vita's saying. something that Nastia has said in episode 570. LuAnn references it. So make sure you read the intro, because the words that the tidbit that Nastia gives and that LuAnn kind of reiterated in the intro of the book kind of goes hand in hand with Vita saying about, like, you're having so much being thrown at you at once in the conference, and to get one tidbit, but there's ways to kind of organize all the information that you're getting. So even if you get the book after the conference, just it's on page 4, this little part that I would want you guys to kind of highlight, because it kind of goes hand in hand exactly with what Vita is saying. So
I can't wait to get the book. I know a girl, but I don't have a book. I can't wait to get my book at the conference.
maybe Tuesday.
Maybe. All right.
Okay. Reason number 2 for me for attending is the networking. For those of you who know WindowWorks, we were hosting a once a month lunch and learn here in our showroom, where we would get a group of designers who would travel from, locally and then from afar, depending on what the topic was. And we would host a different topic each month. We actually had, we've had some of the authors and the designers that are on the panel discussion. Like we have Blanche Garcia here, who had a discussion. We had Jamie Lieberman, who spoke about designer contracts here at the showroom. And I feel like with 2020, that was one of the biggest things that I know I missed, was that networking and really getting together with the design industry, like going to High Point and spending all that like downtime in between going to the showrooms and the panels and things like that, and just really getting to be able to just like see and speak to other people in the industry. So what's cool about this and the whole interactive panel of it all is that it's not just a conference that you're just going to sit back and watch. You can participate. Now there's different levels of that. We'll get into that also at the end. But I feel like just being able to network and quote unquote be in a screen with someone, with some of the people that that we haven't seen, like this will be the first time that Vita and I will be in the same room together since when? February, almost a year. It will be almost a year to the date. The last time I put eyeballs on you in person was February 17th or 7th, 2020, when I went to your office.
That's so true. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's a crazy anniversary.
That's crazy. But like something like that, it's just the excitement of just being around people in the industry that you don't normally get to see on a regular basis. Like when you go to High Point, you get to see, like I would see Sarah Brennan and things like that. But now I'm going to be able to interact with her virtually, but it's not the same, but it's what we have to deal with right now. And I'm
short of doing it in person. So
yeah.
The fact remains is we cannot do it in person.
No.
So short of becoming a total hermit crabs,
yeah,
and completely, burrowing into our little holes, this is the next best thing. And LuAnn
right.
is the one who's giving us that opportunity.
Absolutely.
All right. My next reason, my reason number 3 is, you guys, I'm making this into an event. Now, not we've been talking about LuAnn's event, but I'm making it into my own personal event. And here's what I mean by that. Now, granted, I am local to LuAnn and Kim and WindowWorks, and by local, I mean we're about 2 hours away or so. So I am actually leaving my family. I'm leaving my business. I'm getting in the car. I've made reservations at the hotel, and I am driving up to like Livingston and that whole North Jersey area. And I'm checking myself into the hotel, and that's where I'm going to be learning in the hotel room, just like you, most of you, over Zoom and computer and all that. Now, granted, I will have opportunities, of course, to see people in person, like Kim alluded to before, but I am extrapolating myself from my everyday routine, my everyday hustle and bustle, the laundry, the dinners, the dirty dishes, the daily interruptions and emails from customers and whatnot. I'm taking myself out of that just as if it was a real conference. Now, these guys are local to me, so I can go stay in their hotel. If you're in California, Texas, North Carolina, you're like, well, how can I do that? So I would actually encourage you to do something similar. Why don't you also check yourself into a hotel somewhere away from your family and business for a couple of days? Make it into like a little retreat. Why don't you get together with your colleagues? Maybe there's one or two other designers in your area who want to do the same. Or if you don't want to stay overnight, instead of watching this in your office or in your house, why don't you go to like an offsite conference place type situation where you don't have to be constantly bombarded and interrupted by daily routines and daily hassles and daily activities and tasks that we all have to do on on the everyday basis. And the reason for that is really multifold. We learn better that way. We don't get interrupted. We it's just it we it's the next best thing, again, short of doing this in person and short of immersing ourselves in the conference experience as if it were in person. The next best thing is to artificially create an environment where you're literally kind of like picking yourself up and placing yourself in an environment where you are away from all these interruptions, where you can be 100% present for the learning, for the networking, for the aha moments, for that one tidbit that I was sharing earlier that can propel you forward in 2021. So I invite you to take a page out of my book and make it your own event.
Okay. And for me, my last reason for going to LuAnn Live is with the first LuAnn Live, I was involved with so much of like the behind the scenes and the running of the actual conference that I wasn't able to really sit down and listen to the panelists and get everything that, what everyone else went to enjoy the conference for. So I would hear something here and there, and then I'd have to get pulled into another direction or do the next setup and everything else.
Kind of what I was saying to you before, right?
Yeah. So with this now being virtual and a whole television production crew kind of taking the reins, I actually have the opportunity to sit down and learn like everyone else. So that's where I'm super excited, because here at WindowWorks, with the way 2020 went, we were challenged in some ways, and we fortunately were able to grow as a company and grow with the amount of team members we added last year. And so with growth comes things that you really need. When you're taking it to the next level, there's a lot of things that you still need to learn. So like when I started with WindowWorks back in '08, there was the three owners, LuAnn, Vin, and Bill. And Anne, the woman who worked here at the time, was a showroom coordinator. Myself and Carlos was the only other full-time installer. So we went from just basically a staff of three outside of the three owners to now we are 14, 12 years later. So
Wow.
it's a lot of people, and it's a lot of things to manage, a lot of moving parts. And as we grow and we move into other things, just looking into the different panel discussions that are going to be there, I can't wait to just really sit down and learn and really listen. Now, yes, a lot of you might be wondering, well, LuAnn is your boss, and but she puts all these panelists and these authors together because LuAnn does not have all the answers. She's able to kind of, the thing that LuAnn has mastered is being able to take all the expertise that the authors bring to the table and kind of really take it and streamline it and be like, okay, these are the things, like, did you hear that, what she said there in that situation? So she has that knack and that ability. And I've listened to the episodes and on the podcast, but actually being able to sit down in a quiet space, like Vita is saying, make it an event, take time out of your business, because it is a lot to take 2 days out of your business. I will be taking 2 days out of WindowWorks, which is major for me to not be here for 2 days.
Even when you're on vacation, you're working from home,
Yes.
Kim. I know that firsthand, you guys.
So for me to just kind of be like, okay, WindowWorks, Kim's going to take a little bit of a time out. Bye. That never actually happens. I could be on a boat somewhere and I still will check into WindowWorks. Not that I'm saying that I'm not going to check in, but to just kind of really take it for what it is and get the value of it. I think that's something that's super important because I know a lot of designers, just from the designers that I've worked with this last 2020, that their businesses are growing.
Yeah.
And when you're growing and you want to get to that next level, sometimes you need the tools to get to that next step. So, Gina, she told me she had all the answers. Yes, Luann generally does have all the answers, but this whole lineup of
That's funny.
authors helps support all her answers. How about that?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I'm really looking forward to.
I really liked your point, Kim. There's a very famous saying that what got you here is not what's going to get you there, and
Right,
you can apply that to the people that got you here is not the people that will get you there. The practices that got you here are not the practices that'll get you there. But processes will be different. Your own mindset needs to be
right,
different. So there's all these things that really change from your one phase of growth to the next phase of growth. And also to your point, Kim, 2020, as hard as it was for many of us and also many people, in terms of the design industry, I don't know a single person who did not grow their business, even
right.
by a little bit. Even maybe not revenue, maybe it's net income, maybe it's decreasing expenses, maybe it's some other things. But there's definitely been a level of growth for every single designer that I have personally spoken with, and that's ultimately why it's translating to yours and my companies too,
Yeah,
because that's
right.
what we support. So I feel like this conference is positioned in no better time than right now, after we're
Hmm.
just coming off of a really tough year psychologically, but a really good year from the business standpoint.
Right,
Um, and really teaching us what we need to know to embrace 2021 and make it even better than 2020 was.
right, right. And so I had a thought now, it just escaped my mind. Okay.
No worries at all. And so, you guys, these are our top 6 reasons. Kim shared her top 3. I shared my top 3. I want you to maybe re-listen to these, go back and think for yourself. What may your reasons be to attend this conference? And here's another thought: there will always be a reason not to. It's
Hmm.
very easy to not do something. It's the
Right,
easiest thing to not do something. You don't have to put in effort. You can always find a million excuses. The business is too busy. The kids have their activities. I can't leave my, home, but whatever it may be. We all have excuses for not doing something. But I'm really hoping that you will spend the next few days, because the conference is in 3 days. And I really want you to do some soul searching and think about, do you want to be here next Friday? So just a week from now, and
hmm,
know that you've missed out one of the best conferences of 2021. Kim and I are here so that you don't have a major case of FOMO. That's really
right.
what it comes down
Exactly.
to.
So, and I know that LuAnn has printed or posted the run of show. I happen to have a program here, so I just quickly want to put it up. So
Very
this is
nice.
this is day one, and it is jam packed with different panel discussions and different breakout sessions and things like that. This is day two, and day
Amazing.
three if you're a
Crazy.
VIP. So
Crazy.
there
The
are
amount of content and the amount of meat that she's putting into is just like, it's like no other conference you've ever been to. It's almost like it's almost better to have this format than to revert back to in person in a
right.
way, just because the amount of
Well,
effort that she's putting into it.
and here's the thing with that is that with it being virtual, you're going to be able to go back and play back the conference. So like that's the nice part about it too, that I know that it's like 2 long days, and with everything being so different, with having to, with kids being at home, learning from home, and trying to do 1 hour Zoom call with little ones at your feet is a challenge. But the beauty part about this being virtual is that then you can go back and rewatch it at your
Hmm.
leisure. So if you know that there's 9 panelists and it is an hour long, and you want to sit down and you want to hear about, Sandra and Beth when they're the first panel to go, and you want to just really be able to go back and take notes and rewatch something, you're like, oh, what was it that she said again? You have the opportunity to go back and listen again. So that's the beauty part about it being virtual this year, because in a live conference, there is no putting your hand up and saying like, oh, can you just repeat that point again,
Right, right.
please?
I forgot to write it.
I don't
Another
quite
thing,
get it.
another thing is, who Kim, who would have thought that we could stop at 6 reasons? Here's us like
Yeah,
spewing additional reasons, right? But here's just one last one, and we can wrap it up. Um, it doesn't have to be just you. Your whole staff can join you as well. So whereas before, if it was an in-person conference, maybe you wouldn't want to have other people or your other staff members leave the office. Somebody had to man the fort, right? And it was also expensive because of the admission of the ticket and the additional tickets and the transportation, lodging, all of that stuff. So because all of that is out of the equation at this point, your entire staff can join you. And I personally think there's nothing better than for the whole team, the whole office to be on the same page and listen to the same information and the same learning, because then you don't have to come back and be all excited and all revved up after a conference, and the rest of the people are like, what's wrong with you? We've been here working for the last week and now you're all excited and you bring all these changes to us. They can actually see it and hear it in real time.
yes. So there are 3 different levels in terms of which you can purchase tickets for the conference. There's the general admission. So basically what that is, just to kind of give you the Cliff Notes version of it, is you have access to day 1 and day 2 of all the live streams and the panel discussions. So, and then from there, you get a digital copy of this program here. So you get a digital copy of that. And then you will also get the link for the playback of the conference. The all access pass, you get everything of general admissions, the same as general admissions. Then from there, there's going to be breakout sessions.
Yeah.
So there's going to be little mini breakout sessions of like, LuAnn's going to have past guests on, and we're going to get to hear where are they now and what have they done since they've been on the podcast. So you have that. You also have bonus interactive group sessions. You're eligible for door prizes and coaching sessions. So there are differences between general and all access. And then the VIP, you get everything as general and all access also receive, and you get that whole 3rd day, which the conference is generally 2 days, and then the whole 3rd day. I still remember from the first LuAnn Live, the VIP is getting to do the breakout sessions with the experts and getting to really sit down and ask the questions. I'm like, think about it. If you ever wanted to sit down and ask like Sandra Funk a question, but you never had the opportunity to do that, now is your opportunity to do that. If you ever had it's the time to do it in real life. If you ever had a question on like, I have an issue with my contract, or there's just something nudgy in my contract, you have the opportunity to sit down with Jamie Lieberman and really discuss contracts. Like, you know what I mean? And ask that one question that you wouldn't get to necessarily get to ask a lawyer these kinds of questions. So that's the beauty part about the VIP breakout sessions, that you get to ask these designers and the authors these kinds of questions of, that you normally wouldn't have the opportunity to do that. So
it's an amazing event, you guys. I mean, we all know how incredible LuAnn is, how #smart lady, what a #smart lady she is. And so this is the chance for you to get even more inspiration and learning from her 9 experts, from those experts guests. Ask the questions in real life, be part of the breakout sessions, go into VIP sessions with these guests. It was just, I mean, it's just incredible. For me, it was a no-brainer from the very beginning. Like I said, I got my ticket. I'm putting my life on hold for a few days. I'm making it into an event, and I'm really looking forward to. So I'm hoping that you will make the same decision in the next 2 to 3 days. And when you do, so the conference starts on Tuesday, it goes Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for that last day. And all the information is at LuAnnNigara.com. So this is your one and only action point. We usually end these shows, Kim and I, with some freebies from both of our companies, with our contact information and what we do. But today, it's really all about our dear friend and colleague and business coach, LuAnn Nigara, and the amazing event that she's putting on.
Yes. And if you want even more information, she did a whole podcast episode as to why you should go. So
I missed that one. When was that?
She definitely did it. I know. So it's on there. I saw it last night. but that
Awesome.
was one of the episodes. I didn't listen to that episode because I knew I was going.
Right.
So, but yeah,
So whether
it's
it's the
definitely
podcast on her website, there's plenty of information about it all over social media and
mhm.
everywhere else. So we really hope to see you there, guys.
All right. We hope you have a great weekend. We will see you next Friday because if it's WTF.
It's Friday. It's WTF Live.
All right. Thanks, everyone. And we hope to see you at the conference.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.